everyone. So today I'm back with another video, of course. I don't really have much going on since I have to be in my house for who knows how many days, how many weeks, but I'm gonna make the most of it. But today I'm finally back with a new video that isn't me updating you guys on life, and if you haven't seen that video, I'll link in the card section or in the description box down below. Either or, you can find it somewhere while you're watching this video. You guys can watch it if you guys don't really know what's happening in my life, or you're just wondering what happened to you, all that stuff. So that video will be, again, either in the card section or the description box down below. You guys can check it out and watch it. And yeah, I just literally uploaded it today, so still fresh in my mind. But yeah, with that being said, I thought that I would do an extra video for you guys to upload. Just why not, since I feel like I'm going to be posting a lot more videos this time. So I was like, why not add an extra video for you guys to watch, since all of you guys are probably going to be at home watching stuff either on Netflix or YouTube. So this is just another thing for you guys to watch. But basically this video is a faith-based video. I've been getting a ton of requests for more of these types of videos, which makes me really happy because I really love these types of videos, and I knew it was time to do one. So this video is actually just how to prepare for Easter. I know it's like so weird, at least for me, because I feel like even like Christian podcasts that I love to watch, I feel like a lot of the content that I've been hearing from them is mostly about the virus and less about like how to prepare for Easter and just like all of that stuff. Like I feel like everything that is happening right now is kind of being pushed forward. Like a lot of the stuff that's going on in the world is being pushed forward, which is very important. But like it's so interesting just how the other day I was like, wait, like we're in Lent, like we are preparing for Easter, like, and it's so weird because like that was obviously on my mind for 20 days now, and like now it's like kind of like just being pushed to the side. But I want to bring it back because this is super important. And I think it's just something important to talk about in terms of, during, this time where we have to be in isolation. It's a really, important, and just, I feel like a time where it's another way for us to just press into His Word and just read more of His Word, especially now that we have to be quarantined and have, to be isolated. It's an excuse, a good excuse to really pour into His Word. So I hope you guys enjoy this video. I'm basically going to be sharing with you guys how I'm preparing for Lent, what that looks like, what is it for the most part, and how do I observe it, and really preparing my heart for Easter. And hopefully this can inspire you guys to do the same, maybe learn more about what Lent is and how you can prepare for Easter and prepare for this time leading up to his death and resurrection. So with that being said, I hope you guys enjoy this video, and I guess we could just jump right into it. So if you guys don't know, I'm Catholic. I grew up in Catholic church, and so I've always observed Lent pretty much all my life. Like it's not anything new to me. I know for some other people it could be new to you and you've never really heard of it or never really observed it growing up. And I think there's only like some, don't quote me on this, but there are some Christian denominations that actually observe it as well, but not all Christians observe it, and obviously not all Catholics observe it, but for the most part it is part of like the Catholic Church. So just wanted to make that distinction. But basically Lent is 40 days leading up to Easter. It starts on Ash Wednesday and then goes up to Easter Sunday. I know there's some variations where Lent is more than 40 days, and I think it's around like it would be Ash Wednesday all the way to like I think Super Tuesday is what I think they call it. I'm not quite sure, but some people kind of have variations to how many days Lent really is. But in terms of the Catholic Church and in terms of what I believe it's 40 days for Lent from Ash Wednesday all the way leading up to Easter Sunday. And basically the reason to observe it, and it's really a way to come before the Lord and really prepare our hearts for His death and resurrection, which is on Easter Sunday. That's what we celebrate. And it's another way, what I look at it, it's a way to kind of identify with Christ again. And like I think why I really love this period is because I feel like at the beginning of the year you set really good intentions, and you say, okay, I want to read the Bible the whole year, which I did, and it was really hard. I probably it was a good month, like probably all of January I was really good at it, and then I kind of fell off the wagon. I feel like most people kind of look at that in terms of New Year's resolutions, and so I really was looking forward to this period, because I was like, you know what, this is another way for me to just really pour into his word and really dedicate more time with him, because I think that's something that I was really struggling with after I kind of fell off my goal and felt really discouraged. This was another way for me to really focus on him again and just devote my time to him again, because I kind of felt a little discouraged, and this was a time for me to really feel more encouraged and motivated to actually spend more time with him. And so that is really how I view Lent. And also a lot of people view it as a way, it's like a renewal. That's what I also look at it. It's a renewal of your heart to Jesus. It's your renewal to re-identify with him again. And so it's also a time where a lot of people give things up. It's like a sacrificial thing people see as, where people give up chocolate for the most part. A lot of people, abstain from alcohol. A lot of people abstain from meat, which I do. I abstain from meat every Fridays. But some people fast, which is amazing. I really want to try and fast and do something like that, but I feel like you have to, I feel like your body has to be accustomed to it. And since I didn't really fast growing up, I forgot the ages, but I think it's 14 up or something around there where you can fast, but or is it 18? I'm not sure. I should probably do my research, but I'll put it on here just to make sure. But yeah, ever since, I really didn't fast. My parents really didn't do that either, so they didn't really encourage me to do that. So I only abstain from meat every Fridays during Lent. So that's what I'm doing, but I really want to try fasting. Maybe not completely 40 days, but try doing it maybe for a week, or doing something like that, doing it small first and then kind of working my way up. Because I really want to try doing it, trying to really actually not focus on just desires that I have, or the desire to eat food, but actually pouring into God and really relying on him, instead of relying on worldly things like food or things that are appealing to me that aren't really going to sustain me, from here on out. So I really want to try and fast and do something like that in the future. So that's definitely something I want to do. But yeah, a lot of people view Lent as a sacrificial thing, which is very important. But it honestly wasn't until recently where I found out that Lent could also be something sustainable. It could be a sustainable thing. So I kind of look at Lent as more sustainable rather than sacrificial, where Lent is a time where you're adding something to your life, adding a good habit in your life. And in terms of this, this is a time where I'm recognizing that I can add a habit, I can add something good into my life, rather than kind of viewing it as, oh, I need to abstain from something, or give something up in order to feel like I'm completely giving myself again to God. And I think that's super important. And so there's actually this scripture from Hebrews chapter 12 verse 2, and I'll have it up on the screen. I don't think I have the exact scripture on my notes right now, but I'll have the full thing on the screen. But basically, I'm paraphrasing this. It's a way of identifying with Christ, who endured the cross for the joy that was set before him, and that is according to Hebrews 12 verse 2. And so it's really a time for us at the end of the day to invest more time pressing into him. And so I have two intentions that I've set for Lent, and it's one, investing my time by pressing into him, and really asking him to look at this journey and really looking at the time I'm spending with God to be something new. And I think that's kind of also what this time is. It's like a rebirth. It's like really seeing him in a new way. And I think that sometimes when you go through seasons in life, really, it's kind of hard to really find really the good that he's doing in our lives. And so I think it's really important to, dedicate this time to seeing him in a new way and pressing into his word in a new way and seeing what he's doing, because sometimes when we go through seasons or we go through tough times or we just go through times, it can be really hard to see the good that he's bringing into our lives, because our hearts are just not in it. And when your heart is not fully in it, you can't really see the goodness he's bringing. And so I think it's also, preparing our hearts for that. And also I think recognizing what it means to actually listen and hear his voice. And so I think that's so important, and it's something I struggle with all the time, especially when I'm going through just weird seasons in my life. It's hard for me to hear what he's really saying and really hear his word and really hear what he's trying to impart in my life, because I'm not fully there. I'm not fully present, and my heart isn't fully in him. And so this is a time for me to, again, invest more time in him and really meditate on his goodness and really focus on being present with him and really allow my heart to be open to him. So I think that's really what Lent is all about. It's a renewal of us identifying with Christ again. It's us looking at him in a new way, looking at who he is and what he's doing in our life in a new way. And so that's really what Lent is all about. And that's why I really love this period, because I think it's a time, especially in March, it's a time where a lot of people aren't really focusing on their goals and focusing on how they can invest more time and spend more time with God. And so it's the perfect time, I would say, for us to kind of come to him again and see him doing a new thing in our lives, And so I really love this time, to be honest. I really love Lent, and I hope you guys can find a way. Hopefully this video will encourage you guys to, add something sustainable in your life. And actually what I would recommend you guys doing is maybe making a list of maybe 5 to 10 things that you would like to add in your life. It doesn't have to be a crazy extensive list, but just at least a couple of things, of habits that you want to impart in your life. And so for me, in terms of spending more time with God, I really want to, instead of just, reading a chapter in the Bible, I want to be able to just at least maybe a couple verses, just reading, a specific book and reading a couple verses and really working on understanding those couple of verses rather than trying to read a full chapter and not really, spending a lot of time on it and trying to understand it. So that's definitely something that I'm doing. But at least in terms of something that I'm kind of giving up or, sacrificing in a sense, is my time on social media. Social media has been a love-hate relationship for me, and probably is for many of you guys watching. And so what I've done for myself is I'm trying to limit my social media use from basically around 3 o'clock or 2 to 3 o'clock all the way up until maybe 8 or 9 o'clock. And I dedicate those times to go on social media, but then when I first wake up and before I go to bed, I don't go on social media. So that's kind of something that I'm giving up, but it's honestly not something I'm giving up. It's something that is going to be a lifestyle thing for me now. It's not, I don't see it as a bad thing or something that I need to give up, but just something that I just don't want to keep relying on social media, because I recognize within myself that I just don't feel good about going on social media, especially when I don't have to. So that's also something, it's just really a changing of your mindset in terms of I'm recognizing that it's not something I have to go to, but rather something that I go to, when, I feel like it. That's my little thing that I'm giving up for Lent, but it's honestly something that I'm trying to turn it into kind of a lifestyle now, where I'm not only doing it for Lent, but also just for my everyday life, basically. That's something I implemented this year, and I've been sticking with it ever since. So yeah. Anyways, but yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I'm also actually going to talk about something real quick. This video is probably getting really long, but then again, everything in my life and these videos are always really long, and I like to ramble, if you guys haven't figured that out. But basically, I'm reading the book of Mark for like my Bible plan for Lent. And so basically, I read something that I feel like is so important, is something that could be applied in our world today right now, just with everything that's happening. And so the first thing I want to talk about real quick is actually in verse 40 of Mark chapter 4. And it's this particular chapter is talking about all the miracles that that Jesus has performed, and just how he has healed many people. And so there are many stories throughout this chapter, and really throughout the book of Mark and a bunch of the other gospels, that talk about how Jesus was healing people, and just really the miracle stories regarding Jesus and what he did. So specifically in verse 40, it said, in the book of Mark, he writes, "Why are you so afraid? Have you still no faith?" And so I read that and was just like, wow, like I can't imagine, I honestly can't, like it's such a simple statement or question in this sense, but it just carries so much weight because of what's happening right now. You know, everybody's afraid, everybody's in fear, but really, like at this point in the chapter, there was a huge storm that happened, and you really saw like faith. You really saw faith because of the power of Jesus. Like, it reminded me, at least in this little section, just how amazing God is, like how amazing Jesus is, because he like was able to calm the storm. He was able to calm the fears of the people. And really what I saw in this was that the cure for fear is faith. And so, and also kind of reverting back to the parable of the mustard seed, which was like the section before this one. It was like, even if you have like the faith of like a mustard seed, that's not the best paraphrase, but like even when you have as little as faith as a mustard seed, like that can do so much. And I think that's what this world needs right now. That is what we need right now, that we don't need any more fear and panic in this world, and really to trust that God, like faith in him, is what will cure the fear that we all have. And I think it's super important to recognize that, like, yes, like what is happening in this world is so important, and we need to take it seriously, but recognizing that in order to have peace, we need to be able to diminish the fear that we have, and really put that fear onto God and let him do what he needs to do with that, you know. And I think a lot of people have said this, that what allows them to have peace throughout the day during all of this is their faith. And that's really how I'm still able to have peace. And so I really love this little section in Mark, because it goes to show that really what will help solve a lot of what we're going through and the anxiety that we're feeling is through faith. And even when you have a little bit of faith, that can do so much. And so I really want to share this with you guys, because it cannot be any more applicable to what's going on in this world. And if you really want to read more about it, I recommend reading chapter 4 in Mark right now, because it's crazy. I was just going through my Bible plan, so I did not think that I would be reading this today, and I was already planning on filming this video. So it's just amazing how everything just seemed to just happen around the same time. And so I feel like it was just all planned perfectly. But yeah, it's just to know that Jesus will, like, he in this part of the part in chapter 4 of Mark, like, it can show that he can calm even the fiercest storm. And that's honestly, like, it literally like blows my mind that, like, no matter what you're going through, like, he can control that. He can calm our fears. He can calm even the hardest thing we're going through. And it's oftentimes beyond what we would have expected. And that's really what God is like. He is the Almighty. He is all powerful, and that we have nothing to fear as long as we have faith in him. And that literally like still blows my mind, that like we have nothing to fear if we have trust in him, if we have faith in him. Like we can overcome anything. Like Jesus isn't just going to let us survive. He's going to help us overcome it. And so that it literally like gives me like goosebumps, because like it just goes to show how powerful he is. And like he even goes into chapter 5 where he heals a demon-possessed man, and like he was able to heal him and get rid of like the unclean spirit inside of him. And this is again another indication of how Jesus is all powerful, and like he has power over nature, over sickness, over death, and he controls everything, and he is our savior. So we have nothing to fear. Like these verses in these different chapters, Mark, helped me understand what this world needs right now, and why we don't need to fear, why we don't need to have any more anxiety than we already do, because God's in control. Like God has everything that like he is the person that will fix everything. Like he has so much control, and we just need to hold a little bit tighter onto him and pray that he is in control and that he's going to be doing something amazing after this. And though we don't know why this is happening, like we'll know in time, but really the thing that we need right now is to have faith in him. And I know it's so hard, but really just try. Like that is what I'm asking you guys, is just to try to have faith in him and trust him and recognize the peace that you're gonna have. And that's what gives me peace right now in my life, recognizing that I'm just gonna put all my control, like putting all of my control onto God, and like having him take the reins. And just I want you guys to recognize just how freeing that is. And I know it's really hard, and I really want to just challenge you guys to just kind of shift your mindset and really put that faith into God, that he can turn this into something amazing. So yeah, anyways, I hope you guys enjoy this video. Hopefully you guys understood everything, and hopefully this came across in the best way. I don't want to diminish what is happening in our world, but I also want to inspire you guys and just encourage you guys to just really press more into his word during this time when we're all being isolated, and there's nothing much for us to do in this time. Really spend more time with God, dedicate more time with him, and hopefully this video can also, just calm the fears that you have, and just recognize just how much peace you can have when you just put it all on God. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Give this video a thumbs up if you guys like it. If you guys want more faith-based videos, if you guys want me to even actually go deeper and do a full-on Bible study for the book of Mark, or a chapter in Mark, or just anything like that, let me know in the comments down below. I would really love to do that and dedicate like a full-on video. This was literally just touching the surface, so I wasn't gonna go even deeper, but I just wanted to give you guys a little bit of just what I feel like God is teaching me in my life right now, and just how applicable this certain section in Mark is to what's happening in this world, and really what I feel like a lot of people need to hear. So yeah, anyways, don't forget to subscribe. I upload every Fridays, and I usually post faith-based videos, college videos, lifestyle videos, and I also upload beauty and fashion videos here and there. And if you guys don't want to miss out on future videos, don't forget to subscribe and click the bell notification down below to be notified every time I upload a video. And with that being said, I will talk to you guys very, very soon. Bye, guys.